Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Yeah, welcome to Slayerfest 98, one of our new live streams. Today with me, I have to my left, or would that be their right? I have Ryan Houlihan.
Hello.
I have Meredith. Oop, my arms are going the wrong way. I have Meredith Goldstein from the Boston Globe and Angela Rockstar from Big Brother.
Hi.
We are going to do this like a live version of the podcast. So, yeah, let me make sure. I'm like worried that we're not streaming.
All of my family members will text me if we're not. So let's. Got a lot of Goldsteins who are big Buffy fans, so they're all tuning in right now.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Hi, Goldstein.
It's a family affair.
That's so great. My dad's only thing that he ever said to me about Buffy was, I heard it was pretty good from Howard Stern, and that was it.
Howard Stern likes Buffy?
Yeah, Howard Stern loves Buffy.
Huh. I love the weird people that you find out love Buffy.
Yeah.
I was literally just thinking about that because you were telling me about just all the different people that you've met through this podcast and how it brings people together. And I have my girlfriend over today that we've been friends since I was 8. And she was like, "What are you doing tonight?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm excited because I get to go talk Buffy tonight." She was like, "Girl."
At least it's on brand.
Yes, it is. Love it.
Of course, I X'd out of the view stream, so I'm like, is this working? Are we live?
We're alone in the world.
Yeah, or we're alone. Because it's not showing up.
Yeah, my sister just said I don't see it on YouTube, and I keep refreshing.
What's that hashtag alone together?
Yeah, it's just a stream for us. That's it. Let me see. Because I know there's like a delay. Let's see. Sorry. That was my go to sleep. Oh wait, I think we're live now.
Okay.
We are.
There's just like a little bit of a delay, I guess.
Okay. Well, when they catch up and see this, hello everyone. Sorry we were on a delay.
Am I not? I feel it doesn't show me. Can everyone see me?
You are a green blur to me, I will tell you that.
Yeah, you're a green blur to me too.
Huh.
I can see you in like this main thing I have going on, but then this little side thing, you're a green blur.
So you're a green blur.
Lightstream Studio. Don't fail us now, Lightstream.
Is that better? Oh wait, now Meredith's not there.
Yeah, I'm a pink blur.
Maybe if she reloads the tab, it'll.
No, don't do that.
Don't do that. But.
Oh, it looks better now.
Yeah. No. Okay.
I keep just having to update it, and then it is fine.
Well.
Oh wait, I disappeared. No, there I am.
It just should have been on the link that you tweeted. Is that the?
That's like actually wait, I'm gonna tweet this link. Welcome to my live stream where it's always a little messy.
That's why it's the fun of doing it live, baby.
Oh God, stresses me out.
Just do it and be a legend.
That's right.
I just tweeted the link.
Oh, my sister. Wait, it's up.
Cool.
Is there anyone in here?
We definitely have one sibling.
Wait, what'd your sister say?
She said it's up. I don't.
Yay.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. Cool. All right.
Yep. Confirm.
Now I think we're ready.
The Goldsteins have confirmed. We're
Great.
live.
Thank you,
Cool.
Gold.
Thank you, Goldstein. Oh, I just saw the tweet from your sister saying she's about to watch her sister and boyfriend.
Oh,
Who doesn't?
shout out
Who
to
doesn't
my
love
lovely
Ryan
girl.
Houlihan?
That was a start.
All right. Well, so now that we're here, and now that I finally figured it out, cheers, everyone. If anyone has anything to,
I don't know where my drink went.
I have been slowly going through this, doing live streams, and I feel like I will definitely finish it before quarantine is.
Yeah. Outstanding.
I'm like really messy. Yeah. I surprisingly have like 2 bottles of Fireball somewhere in my room, and I'm trying to avoid getting to those. Angela, I drink
That's gonna be a really messy.
I drink like I'm like still like 21, even though like I die the next day. All right, well, we're all here. We're here to talk about Dead Man's Party. It's a season 3 episode that I felt was like a little relevant. I got stuck in the house because zombies. But first, I figure we should all give our Buffy origins. Mine is that I was a dick teen and my mom watched the show and I'd be like, oh, you're watching Buffy? Oh, you like that show? And then I saw her in the kitchen on our like shitty little box TV watching Buffy have to stab Angel and crying. And I was like, wait, what is this show? And then that's what literally got me hooked. Ryan, what's your Buffy origin?
I was in, I think, middle school, maybe high school. No, probably middle school. And I had heard of the show a bunch of times, and I'd seen episodes, random. I'd seen like a scene or whatever while flipping through the channels, and I was always like, that show seems like a lot because the title is a lot. Especially when you're like a kid and it's the 90s. It was overwhelming. And then I got a gift card to Blockbuster and I wanted to buy something like substantive. I didn't want to like rent a video game. I wanted to like own a thing. So I went to the DVD section and the only thing that remotely interested me was Buffy. And I was like, I'll give it a try. And if not, then like I own a season of a TV show. And I put in the episode and then I don't think I got up until the first season. I had devoured it and I immediately went out and got the second season and like devoured that. And then I was just like in.
I love it.
Am I next?
Meredith,
Okay.
what was your Buffy origin? Yeah.
I mean, I might be the senior member of our chat tonight. I don't know, but Buffy was on when I was in college, and I really resisted it. Like, people loved it, and I was like, I don't know, there's like a blonde person kicking. I'm sure it's something horribly misogynist. And then I discovered it right as I was graduating from college, which would have been 99, and became obsessed, and then became obsessed again when it began airing on FX. And I would just watch it over and over and over.
Oh, yeah.
And then after my mom died years later, bummer, but relevant point. Of course, I watched it again, and it was like this big therapy. But I was just talking to my sister about how my late mother, who was very Joyce-esque in many ways as a single mom, she was a piano teacher, and her piano students were international from all over, and they had taken to buying her masks, which my mother displayed on the wall of her office. And so this particular episode, like even when I was moving her out of her house, I was like, oh my God.
Spooky!
Look at my mask. Reese was dead. So
That's really funny.
it makes this episode one of my favorites.
And Angela, what's your Buffy origin?
I started watching Buffy when it was on the air, and I think I was in like middle school. and I loved it. And I, at that point in time, see, as I became a mature woman, I really loved Spike. But as a young Angela Rockstar, I made T-shirts of Seth Green, and I would wear them to my middle school, and it would be like, I love Seth Green, and it was all because of Buffy. And I don't know what it was. I've never really been into wolves or bears or the hairier fellas, but
Angela, I love that.
So good.
but
That's funny because I always say that when I got into Buffy,
I loved it, and I watched
my like closeted lie, I mean, not too much of a lie, was that I thought Seth Green was really cool, and I thought Eliza Dushku was really hot, but they were like flipped. Because like I feel like, especially Oz, Angela, Oz's aesthetic fits like our aesthetic, so it makes sense.
it. Yes, just like the arty, weird, nerd, sort of hot, probably a good lay, you know,
Yeah.
like.
I feel like him and Spike are the ones that probably can lay it down.
Yes. Spike is what just threw me all the way into puberty, I tell you.
All right, so we're here to talk about Dead Man's Party. We will try to go. Ooh, someone's saying hi. We'll try to go like point by point, but we don't have to because this is live.
I don't
And
think I've ever done that in the history of appearing in this podcast.
fair, Ryan. So the episode is Buffy's back in Sunnydale after running away, after having to kill Angel in season 2. She spent all of the season premiere in, is it LA? It is LA, I think, right? Officially, or is it not officially? Yeah, it's LA.
Yeah, it's LA.
Being a waitress, she comes back. She's just come back. We see her talking to her mom. We see her mom showing the mask. And I feel like it's a really good callback later when Giles is in his car all annoyed, because Joyce is literally doing what he says, where she's like, look at my new mask. Isn't it nice? And like, Buffy's like, oh, the mask hates us. But then we get, which I do love, the scene of her running into the gang while they're patrolling.
I don't know how big that cross is. Xander's cross is so large.
Yes, it's like a cartoonish, like.
Yeah.
Oh, Angela, who just joined us, Angela?
That's my man. He's the one. Remember his Buffy origin story about watching with the lesbian cheerleaders in high school?
Yeah. It's a really good Buffy origin. That's how you know you got a good one.
I was like, I think that's like everybody.
A true ally.
There he is.
But yeah, Ryan, what did you think of this opening where they're all patrolling and Nighthawk is his name, I think?
So I will say, to start off with, before we even get to the patrolling, if your daughter is a mystical superhero or you live in a town filled with mystical shit and someone's like, hey, want an ancient mask? Burn it. Just burn it. Like, I don't give a fuck what it's worth. You fucking burn it. That's it. We're done. We are done. So let's start there, Joyce. And then I will say, when they're all like doing their like pseudo gang, like we're gonna be the Slayer or whatever, all I could think was like, they are like the lamest Power Rangers ever. Because they don't really have any, like, Willow can float a pencil, like Big Whoop.
I mean, like later seasons Willow, it would be like, yeah, but yeah.
Yeah. But it was cute, and I do like the idea of Cordelia getting all dressed up every night to like go out and slay, but then never contribute.
There for the big
ooh. Angela, your thing is all green. I don't know if I have to fix that.
Oh,
Oh no, it's back. I think we're just getting some interference.
oh, there. I see.
I feel like some of the tabs keep randomly turning green. And I'm like, how do I fix that? But I don't know how to fix that.
Maybe it's a bug.
Oh, wait, you're back. Okay, great. Great, I don't need to fix it. It fixed itself.
Always the best.
Yeah. So, yeah, I really love the idea of Cordelia getting dressed up. I talked to Dax exclamation point, who was on RuPaul's Drag Race, who's been on the podcast. We were talking about Cordelia and how much we love her. And she was like, the thing I love about Cordelia is like all the rest of them would kind of, if they knew they were going out to do something, they would dress in like appropriate, like running wear or like casual, like athletic wear. Cordelia never did that, but she would still help, but like always fantastic.
She actually said a line that I picked up in this episode about like, can't we wear some Tommy Hilfiger or something? And it just like really like put me in a time machine for a second. Because that was like this sporty gear that she was trying to wear.
Of course, the like rich popular girl would be like, "Oh, Tommy Hilfiger," like
Tommy Hilfiger for sure.
Back in what was it, 98?
Yeah.
So we get that scene. I like when they're all like, is it Cordelia? Cordelia's the last one to fall over, right? Because she like throws her. I like that panning of all of them, just like, oh, like it's cute.
Yeah, I did like the big like reveal, the emotional reveal, because it felt like a regular Buffy episode where like they're all fighting or whatever, and then Buffy like deals with the problem for them. But then and it all went beat for beat like it's supposed to, and then you get the like emotional reveal of like, oh, hi. You're like, oh, this is so awkward. I didn't realize that this is so awkward because we were doing the punching and the quipping.
Meredith, I think I interrupted you earlier.
No, I need to get to Giles, like, because then I have all of my emotions, and I want to watch them today. I don't want to jump ahead, scold me for doing so, but when my favorite scene, should I not say favorite scene, is when he's in the kitchen, like them going to Giles, and then Giles is in the kitchen having a moment by himself. Like when he overhears the gang talking, it like breaks me every time. Like that returning to dad whole thing.
The only good dad.
The only good dad.
I always say that it's like you realize you're an adult when your perspective switches from like Bart Simpson to like Homer and Marge. And you're like, oh shit, this is a completely different show. This was maybe the first time I watched it, and I was like, Joyce, you need to get your kid together. It's like I felt like a peer of hers who'd be like, you know what I would do.
Yeah, but Joyce's friend is still obnoxious.
Oh God.
I'm a big fan of Pat. I mean, not really, but I love a good scene with some Pat.
I think the movie Hereditary was based on Pat, and that's all I'll say because I don't want to spoil the rest of Hereditary. But Pat, I like to imagine her life outside of this, and it is basically the movie Hereditary. So
I had this moment watching it where I was like, am I ever gonna like age into Pat? Will I become Pat and not know that I'm Pat? Like now I'm home alone all day, and I'm like, I'm Pat?
You're like empanadas?
I wish I knew how to make empanadas.
Yeah, Pat's living the dream. Let's be honest. She's single. She's got friends. She's going to cooking classes. She's getting loaded at like a house party. Pat's got it all going on. She's raising the dead.
She's also raising the dead. But yeah, so I do like that Giles moment. I feel like this is one of the, well, no, maybe not. Season 2, we get a little bit of this, but we didn't, prior to this in the earlier seasons, we didn't get a lot of Giles like by himself at home, like, like Band Candy, it was like we got to see him and Joyce get it. But other than that, like, I think this is when we start to see Giles be more of like his own person rather than, like, I mean, clearly he's still a father figure, but gets to do his own shit sometimes.
Yeah, he's
right?
not like so much a foil. He gets like rounded out in a three-dimensional sense, which I think happens a lot in the show. And maybe one of the reasons that I love it so much is that you start off with Anya being like a one episode monster of the week, and then she's like a recurring character. And then she's like a foil for the gang because they need like a voice to like call them on their bullshit. And then by the end of it, you're like, she was a living soul who like deserved better. And you're like ready to protest at the like White House over that or whatever. And the year is 2004, and there are other things you could be protesting. But I love that they do that. Like, I love that Giles was to me just like a librarian when we started. Like, he was like boring. And it's the same thing with Wesley. And then by the end, you're like, oh, my sweet baby angel. Like,
that is true. I'm taking a little video of this. Yeah, I mean, right, like, I don't think I appreciated Giles as much when I watched it when it first aired.
no way. No way. No
Like-
kid would.
No.
No.
Like I was about to say, Angela, like, you watched it, you were the same age as me, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't think it even occurred to me how good of a dad figure he was until I started watching as an adult, right?
I don't know. I didn't have a dad, so it kind of fit right in there. I was like,
Well,
oh, that
Giles
was
could be
nice.
your TV dad.
I
That was just-
also, Giles gets hotter as he gets older. Like, now I'm like,
Yeah,
Well, when I was younger,
daddy.
when I was younger, I was grossed out that Joyce and Giles like have sex during band candy, and now I'm like, get it, Joyce. Like now I'm like,
Yeah.
it's like, good for you. You are two adults. You deserve this.
yes.
Yes.
Well, it's like I realized that like my school used to go to Disney or like Canada or whatever when we were in like high school on school trips, and we'd be there overnight. And I thought like, I hope some of the single parents and single teachers hooked up, because if not, that's a very boring weekend for them. And it's sort of like, if I'm Giles and I've got to be hanging out with these fucking teenagers all the time, like the least I can do is like put it down once or twice.
Always taking you to an apocalypse and like,
Yeah, talking about shit like how Tommy Hilfiger and the giant snake.
So she sees Giles. It's really, it is pretty touching. Okay, wait. So I feel like we're going to talk about this probably a lot. How did everyone feel about everyone's reception of her?
Good question.
Like, the way they kind of welcomed her back and how they acted about it. I mean, they clearly tried to cover up their feelings a little bit in this opening as opposed to where we go at the end of the episode, but I wanted to like see everyone's thoughts on that.
Anyone want to go?
I'll go. I feel like they never really put the respect on Buffy's name that they needed to in that friend group. I mean, really, like, truly, the bitch saved your lives every single day that you breathed and walked the earth. Like, I get it. She can get a little egomaniacal. She's literally a chosen one, like one. So I did not appreciate their reception of her.
You're like, she has carried this earth on her back, and you're mad because she dipped for a minute. Yeah, well, it's also the thing. It's like, I can forgive teenagers for acting like that because they don't understand. It's hard to have empathy when you're a teenager, and like, I knew even like watching it the first time, obviously it's a television show, so I know that they're going to land on the right side, and you're kind of on that journey with them. So I didn't like mind it, but Joyce and Giles, I was like, and Snyder, I was like, guys, like, if a teen runs away and is like, and lives somewhere else, and then like reluctantly returns home of their own accord and tearfully asks for like emotional help, the response is not like expel and yell. The response is like, get a therapist in there, start rubbing her back, and make her soup. Like, what are you doing?
Is there like we know that there's a Romeo and Juliet thing that happens with Xander, right? When Willow's doing the spell in season 2, Xander makes the choice not to tell her, right?
Yeah.
And I think we never, maybe because he is who he is, like, we never see a moment where he looks accountable for that choice or concerned about that choice. It's like it never comes up again. Like, even when she's gone, or at the end of season 2, he's not like, wait a minute, there was one thing I really didn't say. And I think there was that moment where I first saw him and I was like, oh, like this guy. I mean, for all the normal reasons, but that extra where like, I don't think at any other point he's taken to task for that, right?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
And honestly, if you follow the comic books, things get a lot weirder from there. And I think honestly, I feel like he would have been the kind of person to bring it up years later.
Yeah.
And I wish that we had done that, because there are people that you like know who carry that torch for a really long time, and they like manage to eventually bring it up or whatever. Like I feel like he's the kind of person to do that, because he holds on to those things. He seems very sentimental, but I wish that we'd done that. But I feel like by then we had gotten to a different like place and we didn't want to fuck with it.
Yeah. I was just
Yeah.
that all over.
Yeah. I also feel like it's hard. Like they make like jokes later on, like even in The Gift, there's that joke where like when Anya comes up with good ideas and Xander's like, smart chicks are so hot, and Willow's like, you couldn't have figured that out in high school. Like they can make those jokes, but I feel like it's also weird because it's like, oh well, Willow's out now, so clearly she's not right. Like I feel like, I don't know.
But I think it's like, I don't know. I feel like to be the honest thing for me would be even like some more jokes about it, like, or at least some like, because if I know that friends of mine who like dated and then one of them came out, which absolutely happened within my weird little high school friend group, we talk about it all the time. Like it's hilarious. It's like so funny that happened, and it's and at a certain point you like reclaim the like horror of that memory by like making jokes. So I like would have loved that, but it is weird going back and visiting them, because it's sort of like the episodes where we get like Willow in her like old hair or whatever, like in season 4. And it's sort of weird going back because you do see that they do plant the seeds of some stuff to come later really early. But it doesn't always work in the other direction as well. Even though they are good about keeping up like in jokes, sometimes emotionally I feel like there are things that I'm like, oh, we're just gonna pretend that didn't happen.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Angela, you've talked about Xander a little bit on the podcast. What do you think?
Xander. Xander's, he's never been my favorite character. He's not no, he's just not my favorite. He's, I guess, an integral part to the group.
You're being so polite about it.
He's like the nice guy, which is like, it is what it's worth, you know? It's like, you're nice, but you expect all these things in return for it all the time. Like for all of the strong women around him, he's still like, oh my God. You're like, fuck off, dude, with that fucking bro shit.
That's exactly. So I don't know about Xander. I think he's, and then, fucking totally, Anya was lovely. Like, to go forward in time, I can't even go back in my time machine to how I felt. I can't put myself in that place with Xander as to what I thought of him in high school. Probably he was like a goober,
It's so funny because I always say, like, I find, like Ryan said earlier, they're teens, so shit he did when he was a teen, but, like, leaving Anya at the altar is, like,
unforgivable.
Yeah.
I remember watching him do that, and then the episode ending and me being like, oh, fuck him. Like, first time in my life, I remember being like, fuck this fictional character. I hate him. And, like, I don't know. Yeah, Xander, oof. But the seeds of that are planted really early. Like the love spell stuff, like his toxic masculine behavior has been like around, But it's weird too because Giles is around, and Giles is like the platonic ideal of like healthy masculinity.
Right. Giles like gets annoyed, but it's always for like reasonable things that he's annoyed at.
Yeah. Xander's like, oh, these ladies don't want to kiss me. And it's like, the world is ending, buddy. Like, wake up.
Yeah, like Giles is like, I'm annoyed because you're talking about like your drama and the world is ending, so let's get back to that. And then you're like, let's get back to the drama.
Yeah. He's a little bit of a little bitch. I'll say that.
But so, God, we just put out the episode for Entropy, where like
Oh,
he gets
yeah.
mad at Anya for having sex with Spike. And it's just like the whole episode is all of us being mad at Xander.
Yeah.
Because it's like, she can have sex with whoever she wants. You literally left her at the altar.
Yeah, this isn't a were we on a break situation.
Yeah.
Like, you fully said you don't want to spend your life with me. What are we doing here?
So, I know we're jumping ahead. We're jumping ahead seasons. God, what happens next? Angela, what happens next?
So yeah, I was just watching it really up there, so I should have a better memory. But then they find a cat. It's a dead cat.
Oh, the cat, yeah.
Go down and there's
Oh,
a smell or something, and they find the dead cat, and it's very sad. And Joyce says some choice words. What was her little prayer? It was like, man, I should have written it down.
Oh, right.
Good. It's like,
I really liked it.
it was
So,
really deep.
hold on, I'll Google it.
I know. Now we're like quickly Googling. Yeah.
I don't know what it was. I was gonna write it down, but then I was just trying to watch it.
It was a solid memorial for a cat you don't know. That's
Yes.
thinking.
It was. It was like, hold on. Let's see. Joyce,
Oh my God.
Summer.
Meredith, I love your sister.
She's the extrovert of the family, so whatever she's saying, I'm sure it's. I'm not seeing comments. I got to figure out how to do that.
Yeah, I don't know how to get the comments up. I will poke around.
Okay.
Oh, you can see them in if you go to the YouTube. You have to go to the
yeah.
YouTube channel to see. Normally on this, there is a way for me to get the chat, but I don't know why for my channel it always in our like light stream window it like won't let me. I think just my channel doesn't have enough followers. I think.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm in. I can see it now. Hello, everybody.
Ah. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Meredith's sister just said you're hot, Angela. In case you were wondering.
Oh, dang. I'm into that. Give me all the compliments. Well, yeah, that guy plays too many video games. He ignores me all the time.
You're like looking at Pat. You're like, she's got it pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know what the dead cat prayer was, but it was really good. I tried to find it on the Google, and my Googling was not fast enough. It was short, it was sweet, it was perfect. And I suggest that you go back and rewatch this excellent episode yourselves. And for the prayer that I could not find. No, then they bury the cat in the backyard in a bag, which I think was like one of those mental note kind of things, because I don't know, I've never had a cat pass, but I felt like it reminded me that I should do that if one ever did and I had to bury it myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the details that you catch on to sometimes. I don't know, maybe you shouldn't just bury, maybe there was a reason for that. Like, you shouldn't just put dead cats in the backyard. I don't know. But then the cat came to life.
Right.
And it ran to the house.
Is it right? It's not right away, right? Or is it right away that we see the cat from?
It was close.
Yeah.
Right away. And then it ran back in, and it was really fluffy for a dead cat. And and she called Giles, and Giles came over and put the cat in a carrying case, metal carrying case. And go ahead, take it away.
I like to imagine what Giles thought he was going to be doing with that cat.
Yeah.
Are you going to do vet stuff? Like, what are you going to do?
Vet stuff.
It's a good point. And oh my gosh, now I can't even think. But it was fluffy, and they were all looking at it. One of the Scoobies liked it, wanted to keep one, and I think I might have a zombie cat, like if one rolled up on me. And I had
Right? Why not?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Just
Give
for
me
the
like
story alone.
Yeah, vet bills would be really like non-existent. It's dead. Can't get any more dead.
Can't get any more dead, so like whatever. So clearly I'm very prepared. Everyone else is more prepared than I am because I'm like, what happens next? I didn't take notes. Oh wait, so Buffy has another dream about Angel.
Yes.
That's right. I skipped that part because
Which is like, you know, I think it's a good way. They're like, well, we killed him, but we still got to have him on the show. So let's just every episode we have like one dream till he comes back.
we're paying him.
I was thinking this time around that does he normally have chest hair or not? You would think that by now I would have memorized every square inch of David Boreanaz's chest.
He never has chest hair.
Okay, all right.
No.
It's smoother than normal, but you know what? Maybe it's been a while.
There is moments with Angel where I'm like, that's a really nice foundation on your pecs. It's like they had him as smooth and like as baby soft and dolphin body as possible. And I remember just being like, that's really well applied.
Yeah. I just felt like there was like a little patch right here where I was like, oh, it's like so smooth. And Dream Angel has
I think I can remember like the first dude they actually showed, like Xander, they let have like a little bit of like a patch here, but I think like annoyingly the representation I finally got was Warren, who they let have a hairy chest.
Yeah, it was weird that in the 90s we were like, men should not have body hair and all their faces should be shaved, which it's like, that's totally valid. Like,
yeah, like,
do whatever you want to do. It looks fine, but it's like very weird that we were requiring every man in the world to like have enough razors and get to that waxing salon regularly.
Yeah.
Oh wait, Colin knew what the prayer was. Goodbye, stray cat who lost its way. We hope you find it.
Yes. So good.
And
Oh, cute.
We hope you find it. It was touching and sweet and like it's perfect.
And Nancy Knight just pointed out that it's Oz who really liked the cat, which I do remember that.
Yeah, of course he did. He's like, that cat's dope.
God, what happened? So they had that dream. I can't remember. And Angela and I were just like, So I can't remember which episode. Is it the premiere where she has the weird dream about, it's not this one, where like she's in the wedding dress and she's the one that like turns the dust in the daylight?
Oh yeah. I don't remember if it's the first episode or like if it's later.
I think it's Ander by the beach.
Oh yeah, you're right. It is in the beach. So maybe it's the next, because I remember that and I thought it was this episode, but it's not this episode.
But like all of these dreams are interchangeable completely. Like none of them have to do with the context of the larger episode. They're just like romance novel covers that are happening to her. And it's great, but I also like to think that they knocked all of that footage out in like one weekend and with like one camera guy. And yeah, and they were just like, we'll just use it for color.
It's funny, I just watched Dark Phoenix. Luke Smith Adams pointed out that it might have been Angel's dream where she turns to dust in the wedding dress. It might have been.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
God, I host a Buffy podcast and I'm like, what's this show? I don't know. What happens?
You're like, it's a show full of Frankensteins.
I forget where I was going.
Dream sequences.
Yeah, we were at the dream sequence.
Which he seems to be warning her of something in all of these, and I'm like, are you warning her about the mask? Are you warning her about what? It's just meaningless.
Also, I love that whenever like everyone in Buffy's life wants to give her a vague warning, and it's like, yeah, she knows there's going to be another apocalypse. You don't need to like hint that. She's like clear on the cycle here.
She like very much assumes that's coming.
Yeah, someone's always like, just so you know, the world will come to an end, and she's like, yeah, I know. Can I go back to my regular dreams now? I'm exhausted.
Buffy's just like, no shit.
She's like, did you just find out? Should I have been telling people?
So then I think then they're in school and they're like talking. Oh wait, we didn't talk about the Principal Snyder scene, which happens before all this.
Uh,
Like you mentioned, Ryan, you'd think a principal, like I get that he's like the villain, but like a little bit better at being like, oh, this,
Yeah, like what he was doing was basically like child abuse. Like you think you'd have to obey like county laws.
she can't come back, and you're a
What do you say,
delinquent.
Meredith? Right.
Also, what do we think about when Buffy's so mean to Joyce about like potentially having to go to other schools where she's like, Mom, Miss Porter's like, and Joyce is mean back. Like they're both terrible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know that Joyce is the best in this. I forgive her, of course, but like I don't know if she's the best in this episode. I like when she stands up to Snyder at least.
Yeah, but when she's like, you made some bad decisions, I'm like, when? When did she ever make a bad decision?
Like when she saved the world.
It's like you know that your daughter is either on both sides of the spectrum. Your daughter is a superpowered like crime evil fighter, and then on the other side of the spectrum, she also like burned down a gym. So maybe Buffy gets some homeschool.
Buffy's getting a full quarantine education. It's
Yeah, like Joyce, you can't crack a book. You're not gonna hire a tutor. She's got like a couple years left. No, she got 1 year left. So just like let's just knock it out GED style. I think she's good to go. Mr. Giles clearly is coming around enough to like do fractions or whatever. Was that what teens learn?
I don't know. Willow's already teaching. Well, has already taught a computer class. Can't she just have her friend?
Also, I love like the one character who turned a computer into a demon is now teaching a computer class.
Who got like the original catfish victim?
Yeah. So I remember thinking like, oh, good for Joyce. I'm glad she stood up to Snyder. But like everything else she does in this episode is like not great. Yeah, also with Snyder, I feel like she could have contacted like someone else to be like, excuse me, this principal is like just constantly talking shit on my daughter.
Of course, she does say, "I'll go to the mayor," right? And that's the first hint of like,
That's not gonna work out.
Yeah, do it. Go to the mayor.
Yeah, Joyce went full Karen. Joyce was like, and I will speak to your manager.
But that's a time when it makes sense to do that, right?
Yeah.
But okay, so they plan the party. I think, are we at the party? No, wait, no, we also skip that she meets Pat outside of the house.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
Because we've talked about Pat, but her first scene is Buffy seeing her outside of the house, right? Like Buffy has no idea who the fuck this woman is. And she's like, hi, I'm your mom's best friend.
and it's also the first of many passive aggressive like she's like, yeah, it's been really hard on your mom. Book club was hard on your mom. It's like, yeah.
If anyone spoke to me the way that Pat spoke to Buffy, as a teenager, as a child, as an elderly person, in any part of my life, my parents' friend, if anyone started talking to me like that, I would punch them whether or not they were like a demon. Like I would have just started punching her in the face. Like, what are you doing? How about you mind your business, Pat?
Hey, fall back, Pat.
Pat was like, she got right to step in. Also, like, if you want to keep your friend who like you ostensibly care about, maybe like don't start by feuding with her daughter.
Right. Like that seems like a weird place to start with the daughter, right?
Yeah. Like how many kids have you raised, Pat? The dead don't count.
I will say, I feel bad that she dies in this episode. I'm like, "Ugh." Joyce's like one friend that she had dies. Like, ugh.
I mean, everyone that Joyce brings into her life that isn't Giles or Spike is horrible to her.
Yeah. Like, you know,
So yeah, we get all that. Then we get the party, which was supposed to be a little gathering, just friends, and ends up being a party where Dingoes Ate My Baby are playing. Everyone comes. Buffy's wearing a very horrendous, is it crushed velvet dress?
It's like crushed velour, right?
Pink. Oh,
Ugh.
it's terrible.
It looks like a beanbag chair.
Like, I'm like, what? Even for the time, I feel like it wasn't.
And her
Right.
hair, like, honey, you spent that much time to just like a messy bun with some butterfly clips?
It was like straight out of like the Delia's wholesale catalog. Of, like,
I just
It's also weird that Joyce was like, it seems like once the party started, Joyce was like, all right, have at it. Like, what? If one kid ran
Joyce and
away,
Pat
then
were
came
doing
back.
shots in the kitchen. Joyce and Pat were banging shots in the kitchen. I was like, oh.
Yeah, by the way, Joyce is mad because Buffy's irresponsible. Meanwhile, she has half the town's youth in her house and she's getting loaded. Like, rip shit with old Pat in the kitchen. What? That was like shit my parents warned me about. They were like, if you go to someone's house for a sleepover or a party and the parents are doing this, call 911.
Right, I forget that they're like very much underage at this point. So like, you need an adult.
And Joyce laid out the fine china. Like she expected to serve a dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's Joyce gonna do with all that short rib?
Yeah, as Luke Smith Adams just pointed out, all the outfits in this are like very of the time, and
Oh
they
yeah.
are.
And that
I
part
thought- Yeah.
really out of
Also,
the clothes. Like,
also, Angela, you might agree with me. Isn't the lead singer of Dingoes Ate My Baby hot, Devin?
totally, yes, saw him, thought so. Was okay. And he really like got into it too, singing the. Oh yeah. Is he always the same? Is it the same band? I never paid too much attention to Dingoes Ate My Baby, but
It's always the same actors, and it's always, I forget, I think it's like 4-Star Mary or 7 Mary 3, something like that, is the band that sings that is Dingoes Ate My Baby.
okay.
Isn't it weird? Like, doesn't Dingoes Ate My Baby play college gigs? Because when they get to college, like Willow, like
There's posters, yeah.
yeah, and like the college people have this high school band playing the camp. I don't know.
Well, wait, so Oz is older, so one assumes that Devin is probably older because he's not at graduation.
Yeah.
Oz
Yeah,
is
this is one of those situations where you realize that your daughter has over friends of friends, and those friends of friends are starting to look more 29 than they are 19. And you're like, why do your friends have a carton of menthols? Get them out of my house.
like, why are they drinking? Oh, they're legal drinking age. Again,
Yeah,
get them
get them
out.
out of my house. How dare you? I'm going to get you on a list.
A list.
Oh, thank you. Luke pointed it is 4-Star Mary is the name of the band that sings and performs for Dingoes Ate My Baby.
I know that they probably already had that name, but Dingoes Ate My Baby is a much better band name.
Yeah.
I do love that name. It's perfect. Also perfect for like Oz.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're all performing. I forget. Giles sees the mask because he figures out it's the mask. But I forget when he sees the mask. Is it when he goes over to get the cat? Maybe.
I think it's when he gets the cat.
Okay.
Mhm.
Because then Giles is like doing a research thing and realizes
He's
Oh,
like,
shit.
the ancient Sega Saturn controller. I mean, mask.
So I forget at what point in the party we start seeing the dead come back to life, but we start seeing that. Yeah.
Like in the hospital, they right? Don't they like declare somebody? Right? Somebody gets up
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
when he hits him with the car.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Because he thinks he really hit someone.
Yeah.
God, the
It's a-
people who work on the Sunnydale morgue probably see some shit, huh?
He was like, "Look at my pretty mask, stupid American." I thought that was so funny.
Meanwhile, when he calls the kid's like, "Sorry, Mr. Belvedere."
I do like that scene. And yeah, I love annoyed Giles. For me, that's like one of my favorite. Anthony Stewart Head plays annoyed Giles so well.
Because he plays it with like, he's like, we with one look we realize that he is the competent person in the scenario and we're on his side, and you also realize nobody's gonna ever let him be right.
That kind of sums it up. It's like, yeah, I like anytime he has to be with Cordelia or with Anya, I love that shit because he's just like, come on, can everyone get it together? And no one can ever. So the dead start to raise, and then while we see that happening, what spurs the fight? I can't remember. Like, why does the fight start?
I think.
Oh, Buffy hears Joyce and Pat. Isn't that what it is?
Yeah, she goes up to Pack. She goes up to leave.
No, yeah, she goes up to Pack, and then Willow comes in, and she's like, "You're leaving again."
Quitting again. Yeah.
I think everyone is so shitty to Buffy. It makes me so mad.
They are. But can I just make a point? They're totally shitty to Buffy from moment one. But the whole, not to jump ahead, but the whole point of this episode is that Buffy's like, you don't know how it's been for me. And Willow's like, then tell me. And we still leave this episode with Buffy not telling them why she's truly traumatized.
Well, honestly, this is the theme we see repeated in season 6.
Right. It's like, I'm going to agree to tell you things except for the most important thing, which Giles has to like squeeze out of her however many episodes later, that she killed Angel, and he was Angel.
Yeah.
That is.
I also think it's like, if you love your friend and something serious is going on, at some point you do kind of like drop the thing you're mad about. Like, concern will override and it will literally just melt away from you. And you're like, oh my God, what do you need? Like, because when you realize that it's like, and I think that I would have thought that they were like better, more emotionally evolved than that. But like, I also think it's like, it is a good moment for Willow because she usually up to this point has had to listen to Buffy mostly be right. And this is also something that we see later is that Willow's like, the answer's obvious and I'm sick of having to fucking explain it and second guess myself because I'm always fucking right. And it's a little bit of that like Hermione Granger-y thing where you like, she grows into the like, it's also like, I guess the way that people are writing fan fiction about Hillary Clinton at the moment, and same thing will happen to Liz Warren, which is that they'll like turn like old statements into tweets where they're like, she knew, we should have listened. It's like, yeah, we all fucking knew. I mean, like, cool, good for her, she was right, but we all fucking knew. There's quotes of shit that I said in 2016 where I was like, he will kill us all. Like, on Twitter.
Ryan knew.
Ryan knew. Like, okay.
Your mind, Ryan.
Her mind. Yeah, but I do think that Willow is the first time we see some of that frustration of her being like, stop doing shit that's stupid. Like, I just do things that are smart. Like, what are you fucking doing? And I think that I don't know. I like seeing a little dirt in their friendship.
Yeah. Angela, how do you feel about that?
Well, I don't understand why they're not just like, when she was packing it, well, where are you going? Like, well, what's up? I don't know. I just think there's different ways to handle that. Like, the bitch is fighting crime daily and saving y'all lives. Like, be like, do you want me to come with you? Should I pack? Are we going on a journey? Like, what's up? I just learned some witchy shit. Like, we could go to the woods. You want to camp? Like, I think there was a different way to support her. Like, oh, she's dipping out again. And I guess they feel abandoned by their superhero friend. But their superhero friend is like, I'm also just a teen cheerleading. Like, this, this is crazy. So if they were all just a bit more supportive of each other, but then I guess there wouldn't be the drama that we love. That would make the seasons really short.
I will give Willow some credit. I feel like I can understand her getting annoyed at the running away again. Like, that's the only where I'm like, I could see as a best friend being like, hey, talk to me. Like you said, like, they don't really address the fact that she's like,
but Buffy does say, like, what's wrong? What is wrong here? Like, to Willow, and Willow's like, everything's fine. We're having a party because everything's fine. And it's like, maybe Willow should have fucking said something.
You're right.
I also love that while they're having the fight, Cordelia is the only one that tries to defend her, like, in a bad way, but she's still like, she's actually like, Buffy has a lot of freaky shit going on, like, give her a break. but she's just like not wording it the best. So when Buffy's like, Cordelia, get out of my shoes. I love that line.
Yes.
Well, because of the people that Cordelia is like emotionally attached to in that group, I would think her and Buffy were never really that close. So she might be able to have the emotional distance to be like objective about what's going on, as opposed to just being like so invested and frustrated.
It's a lot. It's a lot that Buffy went through.
Like Cordelia's not bringing emotions because she doesn't care as much. Yeah, like I don't know that. So they have that. Xander joins in. Xander's kind of a dick. Because what does he say? Like, oh, you're honey. Like, ugh. That makes me really mad. But then Joyce joins in, which is like, you are an adult and you're joining in on these teenagers fighting with your daughter and you're siding with them.
But let us not forget, she's had schnapps.
That's true.
That's true.
Like, she was banging shots. Yeah.
That is true.
She was like, I
"What
normally
Fuck are you doing,
can't see
Buffy?"
straight on book club night.
Buffy's me drunk in like a bar in New York. Like, excuse me, I'm joining this fight.
Also, like, maybe this is a super dick thing to say because I have no idea what it's like. But if my daughter went missing, like 2 months in, I'm not at book club. Right? Like, Joyce, you want to put some posters up?
I feel like she was kind of like, Buffy will be good. And I mean, Buffy can take care of herself.
Yeah.
I don't know, Angela, you're the mom here, so you give us your thoughts.
Oh, I lost them.
Oh, did you lose us?
Oh, did you lose us? Can you hear us? No?
Yes, now I can.
Okay.
Okay.
I said, Angela, you're the mom, so give us your thoughts on like Joyce's injection into the fight.
I mean, I don't think that was handled correctly by Joyce for a number of reasons. I think it's also interesting that now, like, Joyce, has a firm grasp on that Buffy is the Slayer. Like, yeah, there was all of that's got to be crazy. But I feel like I would really be trying to learn more about my kid and what's going on and where are you slaying and should I slay too, or is this I don't know. I feel like there could be a more participatory instead of just like, well, Buffy, I'm doing my own thing. You've got your slaying thing, so I'm going to join a book club. Maybe I'll learn to crochet afterward.
Yeah, it is kind of funny that she's so hands off about it. Like, I feel like if that happened, I would be like, do you have like a pamphlet?
Maybe we should talk to Mr. Giles together.
Well, because wasn't it? I think it's the previous episode, yeah, where like Giles goes to talk to her and he's like, "Don't blame yourself," and she's like, "I don't. I blame you." And it's like,
That is some stress.
Like, let's not put this on Giles. He was actually more supportive of her slaying than
Right.
people. But so I think I forget what's the like really good line Buffy says right before the zombie crashes through.
Oh, I think it's Xander. He says something like, "You can't just bury things," and
Like, yeah, and the zombies crash through, and then we get to that aspect. I actually wish they had done zombies more on the show. Like, I think they could have done this a few different times, because I really liked watching them all have to. Just because, like normally it's like, oh, she fights vampires in like a cemetery or there's like one demon. But I like the idea of there being a shit ton of monsters that mostly can be like swiped down pretty easily with like whatever. But it's like they all have to fight together. And I don't know, I really like, it's like Cordelia, the lead singer, Dingo's Ate My Baby, and Joyce all pushing the door shut. Like, I love the idea of that.
And the guy who thought that Buffy's name was Bunny.
Right.
Has anybody ever seen?
Which is a joke they use later when Willow's mom.
Oh wait, I think I lost Ian.
Oh, you froze for a second, Ian.
For a second, Ian. Oh, there
Are
you
you
go.
back?
I'm here. I'm here.
Okay. Wait, what'd you say?
Am I back?
You're back.
You're back.
Yes.
Oh, nothing. I think I was talking and then I stopped because I wanted to hear what you said, Meredith. And then
Oh,
maybe
I
that
asked if
was-
anybody's seen Weird Science, like from the 80s. So, like,
Not a long time. But
oh, yeah. I mean, so this was a childhood favorite of mine. It's been a while, but I think Joss or somebody was a Weird Science fan because you know that stupid biker gang in season 6?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I feel like that came straight out of Weird Science, and
Totally.
and that biker gang in Weird Science like basically wrecks a suburban house party like the zombies do in this episode.
Yeah.
And I feel like whenever I see this episode and that season 6 episode, I'm like, yeah, Joss, wait, somebody saw Weird Science and borrowed it again because there's something also ridiculous about them coming into like the living room.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
reminds me of that.
I don't know why, but I love when they smash up the house.
Like homeowners insurance. How high is it? Sunnyvale.
Yeah.
Well, it's
something
like
like-
in the Charmed house, they had that clock that blew up every week.
And they even make that joke in season 7. I forget when, like, at one point when that window behind the couches like explodes for like the millionth time, and Xander's like, "I just finished rebuilding that." But so I really like. I just like watching them all like have to like fight together, kind of like in School Hard when they all like separate. I love that Cordelia. So if you're like, which I did, if you're like paying close attention to like who's doing what, it's Cordelia and Oz are weirdly left downstairs, but while they're running up, but a zombie grabs him, and Cordelia is the one that grabs his arm to pull him, and they like go hide in the closet together. And I just like when they have to, you know, I like seeing Cordelia have to do shit, and I like seeing like the different pairings.
Yeah.
Oh, and Giles, we see Giles hot wire his car.
But every time Giles' car shows up, you take a shot.
So what is it? It's Buffy, which is a really good image of. It's like Buffy, Xander, Joyce, and Willow run upstairs. They find Pat. Pat's death is very weird, right? Because it's like, oh, she's moving, she's okay. We'll bring her in the bedroom, and then she just dies.
I just love on no other show do you have like the villain of the week is Pat, your mom's friend. Pat, your mom's friend. That is such an iconic like like when you ask people their favorite villain and people will say like Jafar. You're like, no, it's
Pat.
My mom's
What's Pat's origin story like in Wicked, but it's like a musical?
Like she's just there, and then they bring her in, and then it's like, now she's dead. But there's like that image of them all pushing the door shut, which I really like.
yeah.
Oz and Cordelia hide in the closet. I love that she's the one that pulls out. What are those, like skis?
Yeah.
Like the skiing. What do you call them? They're not skis because it's the.
They're like whole
The pole things, yeah. I've never
Now I'm just doing this. Like,
exactly what you're talking about.
we're all Buffy and Hush.
yeah, I was just gonna
So Giles arrives at the house. The mess has already happened. The zombies are already there, and we get one of spoiler, my favorite scenes when. So Cordelia and Oz are out with the little like ski things. They turn the corner and it's Giles, and she's like, oh, "How do I know it's really you? How do I know you're not zombie Giles?" And he's like, "Cordelia, please stop being tiresome." And she's like, "It's him. It's him." Like I love that shit. But so then Giles like tells them, right? Or no. What happened there?
He must tell them because he knows, right? Or no, they figure out it's the eyes, right?
It's Oz, because Oz tells her when he goes outside, but I forget how they get outside.
I think through the window.
Oh, doesn't Buffy like and Pat go through the window, right?
Willow, like, or somebody walks. I guess it's on
Maybe.
right outside. Yeah, because Willow's already frozen. If you looked.
I'm looking at the chat. I'm like, who in the chat knows?
Yeah, who in the chat knows?
Oh, right. Because Pat has a mask and they freeze when it's.
Yeah.
That
But yeah, then Oz runs out and he's like, "It's the eyes!" And then he gets frozen because she looks at him.
It,
What was that?
I said the mask actually looks a lot like the mask from The Mask. The Mask, you know.
Actually, The Mask and Buffy take place in the same universe.
I feel like that was probably something Buffy had to fight at some point, or fuck, either way.
Ends up, she woke up the next morning and the person in the mask was Pat.
Classic. She brought canasta.
She brought canasta and empanadas.
So that's funny that you mentioned that. I hadn't thought about that, but you're right. That's how the mask looks before they put it on. It's like wood. Because also, Sweet in the musical is basically Jim Carrey in the mask. Like, he kind of looks like him.
Yeah.
And he does like weird gags like him.
Hmm.
So then Buffy gets a shovel, puts the shovel in Pat's face, as you do.
But are we supposed to, like, okay,
no.
Pat's using a mystical item, but I don't think Pat's a demon. I think Buffy just killed an older woman.
Well, no, because they do that. They do that weird thing where they bring her in the bedroom and she's moving, and then like 2 seconds later, Willow touches her and she's like, "Oh, she's dead."
Wait, but
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so the mask reanimated Pat.
Yeah.
Is using Pat as a vessel.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Lucius Adams just pointed out that when she puts on the mask, she suddenly has a wig that's actually better than her hair.
Oh.
Poor Pat.
Well, that's also true of the character Pat.
So then she stabs her. And is it the zombies? I forget. Like, do they just like disappear? What's the like?
I think her house is just filled with now limp corpses.
Who came from like the hospital in the grave?
Yeah, they had to bring them back, and they're like, "Oh, this girl again." Always weird shit with
Zombies
this girl.
would be like terrible for social distancing.
I feel like the zombies are people who are not taking the social distancing right, and we're all like Buffy and Xander and Cordelia being like, "No, don't come in." And then Meredith, your sister pointed out she's pretty sure that they just go poof, and I think she's right.
Okay.
They go poof once she kills Pat, even though that doesn't make sense. I think that's like, so we don't have a bunch of bodies laying around.
She's probably right.
Yeah.
I can say that my sister has now seen 3 episodes of Buffy, and she watched this one today, so she has, with no basis of comparison, she's probably right.
Yeah.
Once
Things tend to go poof around these parts.
They do. Yeah, she's seen this in the musical episode, and once I made her watch Smile Time on Angel because I just want to have sex with that puppet version of David.
I love that about you.
Man, quarantine.
I love
that. You up.
Smile time. The puppet is so hot. I know exactly.
The hot puppet.
Yeah, it's hot.
The hot
like,
puppet.
the fox from Robin Hood is hot.
Yes. Yes.
Like, I guess? I don't know, guys.
I've been alone for days.
God. So, Meredith, you pointed out at the top of this recording, then it ends with the scene that you mentioned.
Oh, right. This is like this sort of, are they at the espresso pump? Where are they?
Yeah.
Downtown Sunnydale, Main Streets. And they're doing this weird jokey thing where Buffy's apologizing and Willow's like, yeah, it's just really hard. And then she says, oh, you really love this, right? Like the superior, whatever, moral superiority. And then they start calling each other these weird names, like that start okay, but then now get like not okay.
I mean, they're friends. They're allowed to say
Whatever,
whatever.
they're fine. It just at the time when she's like whore, I'm like, oh, it's the '90s. I don't know.
Yeah, because they definitely don't like use words like that often on the show.
No, yeah.
But yeah, I think it's a cute wrap up. Meredith, what's your favorite outfit?
I thought a lot about this.
Okay.
I like that in the dream, Buffy's wearing this sweater that also has a belt on the sweater. Like it's built into the sweater. But Joyce is also wearing like a nice color block sort of kitchen shirt in the kitchen. But I'm going to go with the dream sweater.
Okay. Angela, what was your favorite outfit?
Ugly pink dress, obviously. I'm from Baltimore City, and I
No, I'm from Columbia. We have to talk. We're Marylanders.
no, I'm in Columbia.
Yeah, I went to high school in Columbia. We are
So crazy.
Yeah.
Like you probably live down the street. That's nuts. We can't meet up now. This is not the time. But
I mean, I'm in Boston now, but you are in my home. So.
oh yeah, no, totally. So I would wear it. It's ugly. I would be like, I know it's ugly. It's ironic. And my friends would like it because they're hipsters, you know. Like craft beer and shit, they would be fine.
Ryan, what's your favorite outfit?
I love her mom's friend Pat's. Like, she's got like a blouse. But the thing about the vesty thing is it's so always worn by the woman who just like recently went to Africa. Wants to talk about it. That's exactly who Pat is. And she like, what did she go to South Africa and like go on a boat? She's like, I seen it. I just went to Africa. So. And she's like wearing the shirt to start the conversation, and it's so good and right. So that was it for me.
I like that.
All right. I think my favorite. I can't remember what I said on the actual recording for this episode, but I think now I'm gonna say that in the opening, Joyce is wearing like a cheetah print flowy like mom outfit.
Oh yeah,
Good for her.
that was
I like
a
a
real
cheetah print.
Housewives moment for Joyce.
Favorite scene, Angela.
Favorite
Yeah.
scene. Well. Let me think back to this episode that we just talked completely about and pick my favorite scene of it. God, I don't know. I guess like for me, this was. I mean, I want to get to the rating the episode because my favorite scene. I don't know. I guess it was the party. I like a good '90s party, and it was fun to reminisce. I'm gonna go with that. Before the zombies got there.
All right. Ryan.
My favorite scene is when Buffy's mom's friend Pat offers them empanadas. Because it's so funny. It comes out of nowhere. And I know that one of the writers got like a little stoned and then like put in their script Pat offers them empanadas. It was so funny and great. And so like I love that. I live for that. I'm hungry.
Lots of empanadas.
Yeah, I can go for some empanadas. Meredith.
I think I said it, but that scene where Buffy first comes to Giles's and, you know, the gang is talking about did she go to Belgium or whatever, and he goes in to get his tea. And he has that like, oh, my daughter's home dad moment, like with himself, and he's like, and I am like, so anyway, Giles' solitary appreciation of Buffy's return. That's my favorite scene.
All right. I think weirdly, even though it makes me so mad, I think the fight is my favorite when they're all like arguing with Buffy, just because it's very high drama, and then the zombies pop in. I love that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Grade for the episode, Ryan.
You know, we're gonna split the grade because I value and I cherish Pat, and I will keep that icon who, as has been pointed out in the chat, has recently taken up pottery in my mind and in my whole heart. But I will say, I don't think it's a great episode. I think it like had to happen, but you would think that I felt like you would feel like if you were the writer given that episode, you could have made a lot more out of the directive of like Buffy comes clean about her feelings, like, and we see the fallout emotionally from her friends, and we try to get back to normal. Like, that's a very cool metaphor you could have made, and instead it was just like a party full of zombies. Like, but Pat, I need an empanada, so I'm gonna give this a solid C because it's right in the middle.
All right, Meredith.
Like, if I'm to pair this episode of like Buffy's processing stuff and coming home, like with what is it, When She Was Bad, right? Like, so similar, right? It's not as good as that to me, but I like the Willow thing of her being like, actually, it's not about you. I needed you here for me. And I like that setup as like, I'm now going to be as big of a character as you, like from now on. And so for that reason, I'm going to give it a solid B because, well, I mean, Pat brought it from B- to B, obviously, but I feel like it does something for the audience to say, no, with her absence and return, we're weighting these characters a little bit differently. And I really like the Willow guys.
Now that you said that, I like it too.
Yeah, that changed my whole.
That was my TED Talk.
Yeah,
That was good. You won me
That's
over.
very sweet.
and Meredith just went green for me.
Oh, no. It was like, that was like me going green. Me going green is like the mic dropping after mine.
Did I lose any of you?
This should be the.
Yeah, it was. Now you're back.
Okay.
All right, Angela, what's your grade?
Well, I mean, now it's, I think it's changed a little bit. I can't rate any Buffy episode like, oh, this is horrible, because they're not, because I would watch it again. Even though it wasn't my favorite, I definitely think like this is the kind of episode that if I had missed it in the whole season, I don't feel like it would have missed a huge piece, even though it seems like it was it's the third episode. I don't feel like it would have hurt me to have missed this episode, but I do also see how it was necessary. And now I like this perspective, Meredith's perspective. So I'm gonna say B- because it's not my favorite. But I don't like zombies either. I think they're gross, and
I don't get zombies.
All right, B-.
No, they're my least favorite monster. Probably because they tear.
Oh, wait. Okay. There we go.
Did you get your sister just ask if it's still there?
I love that she's really just our
Yeah.
The contact person on the outside.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Because you're back. Okay.
Okay, great. Oh, but am I there? Oh, I am there. Okay. I think. I don't see me when I look at the stream. Do you guys see me?
I
I don't see you.
I don't see you, but I hear you.
I don't see you either. I do hear you, but I don't see you.
Okay. Hold on. Of course, this happens at the end.
We could all imagine you, like theater of the mind. That's something that Pat learned in her improv class.
Pat.
My sister said she can hear you. She just can't see you.
All right, well, that's fine then. Because we're just finishing up anyway. My grade would be a solid B, because I feel like it accomplishes what it needed to accomplish, with what Anthony always says on the podcast. Yeah, that's my grade. All right, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for doing this. Thank you, everyone, for listening. And I'll see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.